very important to know that Mexico controlled all the cities that were located at the shore of the lake and beyond. Mexico controlled more than 400 cities. Those cities were considered tributary cities. What was a tributary city? Any idea?
Pay tax.
Excellent, perfect, yes. A tributary city, well, you know, the tributary cities were forced to pay high taxes to the Aztec Empire. At that time, coins didn't exist. So this payment was paid with what?
Goods.
For example, imagine that I am Mexico and you are the tributary cities. This city paid with flowers and volcanic stone, with feathers, animal skins, paper, chili, pumpkin, tomato, workforce, you know, human beings for sacrifices. My friends, believe it or not, that was the main building of Tlatelolco. Of course, the building is not complete. Please imagine that at the top of the pyramid, there were two chapels, like two temples. One temple was covered with red color. That temple was dedicated to the god of war, Huitzilopochtli. Can you repeat Huitzilopochtli? Oh, yes. And the blue temple, and there was another temple covered with blue color. That temple was dedicated to the god of rain, Tlaloc. One building dedicated to two gods. And at the top of the pyramid, in front of the two temples, the Aztecs organized human sacrifices. My friends, so you already know that Mexico was the most important city of its time because Mexico controlled the rest of the cities.
First question, how far are the cities away from Mexico City?
We are very close. Well, this is...
I mean, what I'm trying to say is, what extent Mexico City controls? Like 20
okay,
miles, 40
okay.
miles?
Excellent question. What is now all the center of Mexico? You know what is now the state of Mexico, Morelos, Puebla, Michoacán, Jalisco, all the center of what is now my country, the Aztecs control that area.
What's the diameter? Let's say 100 miles?
I don't know in kilometers, but all the center, what is Mexico, was controlled by the Aztecs.
It's like 1 hour or 2 hours from here.
No.
From Puebla.
By
No.
car?
Later I will show you a map
There were no
to
cars
have an
back then.
idea. No, for example, the Aztecs control like what is now 7 states of the country or more.
Oh, that's big.
Eight states.
That's big.
Okay, my friends. So I want to ask you something. Who, the name of the conqueror of Mexico? Who was Hernán Cortés. My friends, Hernán Cortés, he was born in Spain. And you know, he was not a soldier. He was not a military man. But he always had this spirit of adventure. When he was in Cuba, he organized his own expedition to explore what is now my country. When he arrived to this land, when he arrived to Veracruz, have you ever heard about Veracruz?
Sí.
Veracruz is a state of Mexico next to the Gulf of Mexico. When Hernán Cortés arrived to Veracruz, he visited the city of Zempoala, the city of the Totonacas. And guess what? The Totonacas explained to Cortés about Mexico Tenochtitlan. The Totonacas explained that there was a city located on a small island surrounded by water that controlled everything. The Totonacas explained that the ruler was Moctezuma. And also, the Totonacas explained that Zempoala was another tributary city of the Aztec Empire. Can you imagine the face of Cortés when he listened that? Hernán Cortés thought, if that city controls everything, for sure that city has gold. And if that city has gold, I want to visit it. I want to go there. My friends, the Totonacas explained to Cortés, if you want to go to Mexico, you should go to Tlaxcala first. Tlaxcala is another state of my country, it's 2 hours from here. And the Totonacas explained, Tlaxcala is the main enemy of Mexico. You should go there first. My friends, why Tlaxcala was the enemy of Mexico? Because the people that live in Tlaxcala, the Tlaxcaltecas, never surrendered to the Aztec Empire. The Aztecs could never force the Tlaxcaltecas to pay a tribute. And because of that, these two cities live in constant war, in constant conflicts. Hernán Cortés, he was very smart. So Hernán Cortés asked the Totonacas, do you hate Mexico Tenochtitlan? Join me and I will give you your freedom. My friends, the Totonacas of Zempoala are considered the first indigenous allies of Cortés. Hernán Cortés gave the order to his soldiers to go to Mexico. On his way to Mexico, he stopped in Tlaxcala. And after some events, the Tlaxcaltecas joined Cortés. My friends, Hernán Cortés arrived to Mexico Tenochtitlan in 1519. The ruler was Moctezuma. And at the very beginning, everything was okay. Actually, Hernán Cortés was very welcome to Mexico. He received food, lodging, and presents from Moctezuma. But you know, soon afterward, some events happened that the war began. Moctezuma died, and the war began. Cuitláhuac was the next ruler. Unfortunately, Cuitláhuac was only the ruler for a couple of months. He died because of the smallpox. My friends, did you know that the smallpox arrived with the Spaniards?
Yep.
So the last king was Cuauhtémoc. In 1521, the city of Mexico Tenochtitlan was completely destroyed. The Spaniards and the indigenous allies destroyed the city of Mexico. So Cuauhtémoc arrived to Tlatelolco with a few Aztecs, with a few survivors. And here, Cuauhtémoc tried to defend his city and his people. But the 13th of August, 1521, Cuauhtémoc was captured and he was sent before Cortés. That was the end of the Aztec Empire. That was the end of Mexico Tenochtitlan, and that was the end of Mexico Tlatelolco. After the conquest, Tlatelolco was destroyed too. And some years later, the Spaniards built a church, and guess what?
The stone from there.
They used the stones of the city of Tlatelolco. My friends, what I try to explain is that, of course, Hernán Cortés is a conqueror of Mexico. But what we try to explain nowadays, in the present day, is that the indigenous allies were the conquerors too. That's very important to know. My friends, you will have some minutes to visit the church if you want to take a picture.